Moving on to a thrilling game that was the Vikings-Green Bay. Really a thrilling second half in this one. The Vikings hold on for the win against the Packers. Sam Darnold, 20 of 28 for 275 yards, 3 touchdowns. It feels like every week Sam Darnold throws for 3 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson, after the game, had a lot of praise for what Darnold's brought to the Minnesota offense.
He's been great. He's been leading us to these victories. We can't do it without him and his leadership and his ability to just be poised, just like you said. And it doesn't matter what part of the game it is. We always just try to be in each other's ear, giving us each other confidence. Try to, remind each other to, hold on to the ball, take care of the ball, and let's get points on the board. So I feel like our offense is very dialed in, connected. Our chemistry is very well. And I feel like our play out there, it shows.
Jay, Minnesota's been one of the, if not the biggest story in the NFL this season. The undefeated Vikings on the back of Sam Darnold and, quite frankly, just great coaching from this team as well.
Yeah, definitely. And look, Darnold's been incredible. If the MVP vote were held today, Sam Darnold may well win that. Josh Allen would be in that discussion as well. Jaden Daniels, by the way, would finish top 3 in MVP, I think, based on the first 4 weeks. But projecting forward, Connor, I think this is still a very unsettled, has negative connotations, but I think this is an unsettled offense in terms of what we can expect going forward. I think what is most real about the Vikings and why they warrant being the favorite in the NFC North now is the defense. The defense is incredible. Brian Flores is incredible. Darnold has been playing very well. I also think there are elements where Darnold is still kind of getting away with it, and we've seen some of the Darnold moments. I don't think this is going to continue. I think it's going to continue at a level where he is startable in fantasy. He is going to be able to commandeer this offense at a very competent level, but I just look at the box scores for these Viking games every week, and it's like, why is Justin Jefferson not... I know he's getting the stats and he's getting the touchdowns, but why isn't he getting the targets? It's a very strange offense at the moment. It's very democratic and very egalitarian at the moment. From a fantasy perspective, it would almost be simpler if Darnold was just throwing to Jefferson 14 times a game, but he's not doing that. So, look, you're starting Justin Jefferson, you're starting Aaron Jones. When Hockenson comes back, you'll start him. Darnold is going to be viable most weeks, but I still don't know what this is going to look like a month from now.
Rest of the season, Sam Darnold or Patrick Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes, still. Yeah, I still take him the greatest quarterback of all time. I understand, but there's a lot of scope. I don't think the Chiefs, what this roster looks like right now, is what it's going to look like in 2 months. I think they will add a receiver.
Potentially. Potentially.
They have to.
Potentially.
Yeah.
But the fact that that's a conversation, the fact that that's a legit question is insane.
I think they're in the same tier.
He's QB7, you know what I mean? Sam Darnold, for this week, QB7. Multiple touchdown passes in every game this season.
Yeah, I just like everyone buying into Sam Darnold is a great story so far. The Darnold game is coming. He's going to have a 3-pick game at some point in the next couple of months, but he can still provide other stats that withstand that from a fantasy perspective. Okay. He's having a great season.
Okay, but the counter might be also is that 20 and a half fantasy points yesterday.
Yeah.
Mahomes hasn't had that game this year.
That's fair.
I mean, you know what I mean? I'm just. Anyway, my point is that the fact that it's a legit question, I've said this before, I will say this again, Sam Darnold is a top 12 fantasy quarterback the rest of the season. He's a legit QB1. Even if you don't believe totally in Sam Darnold, you believe in Kevin O'Connell's offense, you believe in the balance of that offense, you believe in Justin Jefferson, the run game. And by the way, they're getting T.J. Hockenson back, a couple games.
Addison played well too.
Yes,
Naylor is a real guy. Yeah, it's a very good offense. It's a very good team.
On the other side, Jordan Love walked into the stadium wearing a Brett Favre jersey, and boy, did he have a Brett Favre performance. I mean, Jordan Love here, 54 pass attempts. He completes 32 of them, almost 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, and the 3 interceptions, Matthew. From a fantasy perspective, QB3 finish right now for Jordan Love before we head into the Monday Night Football doubleheader.
It was ugly, but ultimately all the stats still count, and you're happy about this for Jordan Love. They're at the Rams next week, then home to Arizona, home to Houston, at Jacksonville. The schedule lines up really nicely here for Jordan Love. I know a tough loss for the Packers as well. They are 0-2 under Jordan Love. They are 2-0 with Malik Willis. I've seen some of the talk there, but let's not get crazy. Jordan Love's very good. He had a bad half against a very good defense, by the way. The Vikings defense
off of a serious injury.
is legit.
He came back way faster than any of us expected.
Way faster than anyone expected, and faced a very, very tough defense. To me, the bigger story here, because, Jordan Love is QB3 on the week, is Jaden Reed and Dontavian Wicks. Christian Watson gets injured in this game. Sounds like he's going to miss some time. IR is a possibility.
Significant ankle injury.
Yeah, significant ankle injury for Christian Watson. So you sit here and you look at the receiving leaders, Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, and those are the two guys I want to talk about here as well. He's played 2 games with Jordan Love, and Jaden Reed's finished as a top 2 wide receiver in both games, averaging over 30 fantasy points per game, 130 or more receiving yards in both those games. And so they're throwing the ball to him. They're throwing it to him deep. They're finding different ways to get him the ball. Jaden Reed, I think, is rostered in almost every league. But Dontavian Wicks is out there, and we'll talk about him more tomorrow, Connor. But just curious, what do you see from Dontavian Wicks? Because I think the anti-Wicks argument of the preseason was they've got 4 guys, and they're just going to mix and match, and it's going to be hard to get consistent fantasy production out of any of them. But while unfortunate, the injury to Watson does open up more playing time for Wicks.
And with Wicks, it feels like Love is more comfortable going to him consistently, where Watson felt like this big play threat. With Wicks, it's somebody that he's looking his way a lot. And now the route participation is only going to go even up more. We were trying to decipher with this Packers offense, like who's going to actually be consistent. We knew Jaden Reed would be that guy. I'm buying into Wicks in this offense right now. I think he's a guy Love can lean on in the short, intermediate, and even push the ball down the field to him at times as well. So the arrow is pointing significantly up for Wicks.
There were 6 end zone targets against Minnesota. Wicks got 4 of them.
Yeah, crazy second half script, but Green Bay will throw like this at times.
There's been 6 career games where he's gotten at least 5 targets. He's averaging almost 15 points per game. I'm a fan of Wicks as well. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.